Hello there. So it's time for some Corfu cuisine. So this is an opportunity for me to show you a little Mediterranean style Shamanic cuisine. And I'm going to start off by slicing my red onion. Red onions are a little bit milder than the white or brown onions we get in England. They're still very, very nice indeed. And because it's Mediterranean cuisine, I will not be using coconut oil or groundnut oil because I don't have any. I'll be using the staple, which is olive oil. So if you do cook with olive oil, the important thing to do is to have it hot for as short a time as possible. That's a really key thing. So when the oil is heated up just enough, I'll be adding the onions straight away. And after that I will start to stepwise add all the vegetables. So here we go with a little of the locally sourced olive oil, and it's in a mineral water container. So you know it's not come from a multinational conglomerate, it's come from a local person. A tiny bit more in there. So the aim here is to make a one-pan meal. It's going to be very, very easy and straightforward. A little bit of pink Himalaya salt. I'm delighted you can get hold of this in Corfu very easily indeed. And as soon as that's warmed up, which it has, you put your hand in the pan, you can feel the heat. So I will add a little bit of the red onion to start with. And from there on in, it's simply a matter of adding my vegetables. But as you know, those who've watched me do this before, I will sweat the onions for a few minutes on their own, together with, well, I'm not going to use spices because we're Mediterranean style, so I'm going to use two herbs. One is oregano, and to be honest, I don't even know what the other one is. I think it might be thyme, but I'm not sure. But they're just two locally sourced Mediterranean herbs. So to this I will add my red pepper. I've deliberately chosen all local seasonal vegetables. So I'm here in May. The great thing about Corfu is you've got a very long growing season, so that we're already harvesting vegetables which we wouldn't even begin to think about harvesting in England. So for me this is all a great luxury. I do miss my Japanese vegetable life though. They really can't be beaten. But this one is fine. So the really traditional Mediterranean vegetables is the red pepper, the courgette. I'm going to slice this in a different way from what I usually do. I'm going to cut it like that into quarters, and I'm going to cut them quite small. If you cut your vegetables small, it means they cook quicker. This is all to do with your style of cuisine. Some people like to cook things very slowly for a long time. I like to get on with it because I'm always hungry and thinking about when I'm going to eat. So there, that's nicely glazed. So I can continue now and add my courgettes and my red peppers. And I'll give them a few minutes to do their work. In the meantime, I'll prepare a few beans. My attitude is to waste as little as possible of the vegetable, only to remove that which I feel really needs to come off. So it's just the very ends of the beans I've taken off there. And I'm also going to add some aubergine. Not a vegetable I use very often, but it feels appropriate. Some people salt their aubergines. I personally don't like to do that. I like to let the salt that's already in the pan do their work. And when you're working with guides, as I do, with my cooking, they instruct me moment to moment about what is the next best thing to do. And I was going to put the beans in first. They say, no, you put those aubergines in. So the aubergines are going in next. I'm going to give those vegetables a few minutes to work their little magic. There we are. Now, something I'm very lucky to have indeed is fresh garlic. It's so nice when you can get it like this. It's not often available, only at just the right time of the season, and it happens to be now. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these to one side. I'm going to put my garlic in at the very end, and I will explain why a little bit later. So, to me, one of the great treats in life is to be able to have fresh peas. If you can shell your own peas like this, it's a really great gift. The flavour is so superior in any other way. So people might say, what about frozen peas? Well, I say, frozen peas, no thanks. Frozen peas basically have had all the vitality taken out of them. They're frozen. Stick you in the freezer and pull you out 24 hours later, you wouldn't have much life in you. It won't be the same with these. So everything fresh is the shamanic way. And if it can't be fresh, then it needs to be dried like the rice. So the rice, I've already soaked the rice for 20 minutes and I've washed it. We're using local arboreal rice. And these are big fat peas. Juicier than the ones that I can get in England. So the peas are ready. Now for some tomato. Now I could put more tomatoes than I'm going to, but I don't have much left. And I love eating it fresh out here, so I'll just have a small amount of tomato, that will do fine. And that really is the next vegetable to put in. And I can turn it down from 4, using this fine high-tech cooker, to 2. Now I'll have my tomatoes, my beans, and my peas. Very simple way of cooking that I'm showing you here. Very, very simple and straightforward. So I'll give those 3 or 4 minutes to do their thing. And I think I've turned it down a bit too much. I'm going to go to 3. I think that's better. So in the meantime, I shall prepare this garlic. So if you work with fresh garlic, it's quite different, and you'll find you have to take an extra layer off than what you realise. So now I've taken that layer off, that really is the whole clove ready for me. And the same thing with this one. And suddenly the guys jump up and say, come on, where are those olives? You need olives in that dish. Well, of course I do, this is Mediterranean. How could I possibly contemplate cooking without putting olives in the dish? And these are, as you'd imagine, locally grown, locally prepared olives. So let's have some olives in there. Pull out that string and that little stalk. Actually leave them in there. And let's be generous with a little more as well, that's more like it. Now the olives do contain a certain amount of salt, so it's just as well I only put a small amount of salt in there earlier. So let me just see, have I peeled this one yet? No, there's still another layer to come off. And now that garlic is completely prepared. But I'm only going to put that in at the end. So because we're Mediterranean cuisine, I'm doing something I don't normally do. I find it depends which country I'm in as to what I do, but we'll have a little wine with this preparation. Local red wine. You can tell it's local red wine because it's not in the proper bottle, it's in a plastic water bottle. And in fact we will be adding a little bit of the red wine to the dish, because we can. So another stir. That's going beautifully. I'm going to leave that for another few minutes to do its alchemy. So while the alchemy continues in the pan, I'll just say a little bit more about Shamanic Cuisine. What distinguishes Shamanic Cuisine from other cuisine is I'm working and obeying the instructions of my guides and helpers. I'm constantly tuned in to what's going on. And the way that we begin is we get all the vegetables out the way you saw me do, and I choose and select as according to the guidance I receive. So we're getting ready to do the interesting bit in a moment, which is when I add the rice. Now I'm going to need to add water obviously to cook this dish with the rice in, and I'm not going to use water from the tap because it's almost certainly got chlorine in. It may even have fluoride in it as well, and fluoride is basically calcification of the pineal gland and the brain poison, so I'm not going to take any risks on that score. So I've got myself some relatively local spring water from the container. I'd rather go out and harvest my own spring water from the spring directly, as I'm sure you realise. Having tasted it, it's high levels of calcium and also bicarbonate. It's absolutely delicious, so it's going to be really great. The other thing I can do is I can start to cut up my spinach. So the garlic and the spinach will be the last things to go in this dish. Spinach only needs to be cooked for about 1.5 to 2 minutes, just to wilt the leaves. That's really what we're doing there. If you eat fresh spinach raw, the problem you've got with that, the spinach contains oxalic acid and it leaches the calcium out of the bones and the teeth. Something you don't want to do. The only form of spinach that's okay to have raw is the very, very young, fresh baby spinach. Hasn't had a chance to build up any oxalic acids by that stage, but this is not very young spinach, so it needs to be cooked just for a short time. So now let's have a little look, see what's going on. All these vegetables are nicely mixing and blending together alchemically, very happy with them. So it's time to add the rice, and I'll need to put the heat up for this. So the rice has been soaked for 20 minutes and washed, in it goes. Now what I want to do here is to make sure that every grain of rice is coated with the oil. It's so important, and I'm just being given an instruction to put a tiny little bit more of this delicious local olive oil in, just a little bit. And by coating each grain with oil, it's going to cook much better, and it doesn't stick together in a great clump. You know, sometimes people serve you rice and there's a great big sodden mass of grains all stuck together in a clump. That's because I didn't do this part of the process. It's very, very important. Now, I can leave that and just keep my eye on it until it starts to show the very first signs of sticking. When they show the first signs of sticking, that's going to be my cue to add the liquid. So I've got half, just over half, nearly 2/3 of a cup of rice. So I've got a full cup of spring water, and I've also got this wine which is ready to go into. Now it's almost ready. Those grains are still moving about, but they're starting to make that sound that says they're going to be sticking very, very soon. So we're almost there. And that's it, the sticking point has been reached, so we'll add the red wine. And we'll add the water. And we will turn the temperature right up and heat to boiling. And as my dear friend Jana from Slovakia always used to say, when you're cooking, the true art of cooking is never leave the food, always be present to what's going on. And it's absolutely right. A number of times people make mistakes burning the food. It's always because they went away and left it and weren't paying attention. If you're mindful, keep your attention on your food, it will not burn because you'll be aware of what's going on before it happens. So what I need to do now is to let that heat to boiling and then turn it right down to number 2 and let it simmer for probably around 15 to 20 minutes, and I'm going to be adding the spinach and the garlic right at the end. Now that's boiling, so it means I can turn the heat down to simmer. Keeping the lid on. So, while everything's going on, let me just say one or two things. So, the thing about alcohol to be aware of, alcohol is to shut you down. So if you've been doing a lot of shamanic work, really for a long time, and you feel that you need to just shut yourself down psychically very slightly, a very small amount of alcohol will do that for you. That's the value of it in shamanic work and shamanic lifestyle. So we're very wary about the amount of alcohol we drink, but we've got it as an available possibility. And this brings up another point. In shamanism, what we're doing is we're always looking to break the routines. So I have a routine of not drinking alcohol. I go to a different country, I can break that routine by having a little bit of alcohol. That's simmering away very nicely. Turn it even more right down. That's it. Okay, really it's about done. So all I'm going to do is wait until the water's been absorbed by the rice and vegetables, and then when that happens I will take it off the heat, let it rest for 5 minutes. When you cook rice, it's always important to let it rest for 5 minutes when it's cooked, and just before that happens I will add the spinach and the finely chopped garlic, and then my one-pan Mediterranean style Shamanic Cuisine meal will be ready to eat. It's almost ready now. I can still see a few little bubbles of water, so I'll give it a few more minutes, put the lid back on, and I'll know it's done because when I put my spoon and my chopstick into the mixture, I will feel a slight resistance at the bottom of the pan just before the rice begins to stick, and that'd be the perfect time to switch off the heat, add the chopped spinach and garlic, mix well, leave for 5 minutes, eat. So it's done, because when I put my utensil in, I'll make sure I can see there's no water at the bottom of the pan. So it really is time to add finally these two luscious ingredients. Turn the heat off, give it a good stir, wait 5 minutes and eat. Wow, well am I ready for this? Thank you, cheers.